Thank you for pressing the self-destruction button.
Hey! Oh, hey! It's, it's like a koala bear crapped a rainbow in my brain!
Listen, here's $5. I've got to get to 1008 Park Avenue right away. It's an emergency. Look, I'm really in a hurry. Isn't there something you can do? $10 more. Look, I've got to be there before 5. Well, what's going on up there? We're getting someplace. Now, look, will you just get around him? Just get in this lane. Do it! I've got to be there by 5. Hey, mister, you're going to be 10 minutes late, so just keep your shirt on.
I think, a lot of us have family members that are going through a crisis or dealing with problems like this. So it's art therapy in a way. It's a cathartic kind of release for me.
Rack lays it up, no, but we do have the whistle to foul. Ben just went after our 10. Trouble right here in the Motor City. We got big trouble here in the Motor City. Steven Jackson still screaming at the Pistons.
We came back now, but
short on the headsets. The Indiana broadcast.
And Ben Wallace just threw something at him. There goes Ben Wallace again.
There goes Artest up into the crowd. He's absolutely out of his mind. And Steven Jackson slugging people in the crowd here.
The whole Indiana team is in the crowd.
And now the Pistons are coming over.
And you want to be my latex salesman?
Hey, did you see that? Did you see somebody go past the window? What? Somebody just went past that window downwards. Oh. Must be a board meeting. Oh, yeah.
He's faking it, Julie. He's faking it.
I think he's in trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
Heaven's on fire! Heaven's on fire!
Sir, I would like to complain about that last scene about people falling out of high buildings. I myself have worked all my life in such a building and have never once...
Jack, you know what? Hey, I really like that hate t-shirt. The whole angry young man, black thing, generation, you know what I mean? It's cool.
Yeah, it's the name of a comic book. Can I borrow your pen 1 second?
Absolutely.
Happy now?
My artwork is popular because it connects with the ordinary person, and they can understand it very easily. And I've always meant it to be so. I've never confined my art to a particular section of humanity. I love people in general. My art reflects it, and that's the way it's always been.
There we go. Hello and welcome to Taylor Talks Comics Live. The show you thought would never be back has returned. We are here. We are live. My name is Taylor, and we're here to talk comics. How is everybody doing today? Sorry, I had a sneeze there. That was weird. Perfect timing, I guess. And today is National Dream Day. National Dream Day. So everyone, let's talk about our dreams or dream comics. What are your favorite dream comics? There are some great ones out there. Like Little Nemo is a great one by Winter McKay. You have Rick Veitch's Rare Bit Fiends. What are you guys talking about today? All right, we've got Lies. I'm here. I'm in the flesh. I'm in color. My skin color looks a little weird on camera. I'm using only natural lighting over here, but we're here. Also, are you behind on Creepy and Eerie? I have... I have one thick of the double copies of Creepy and Eerie when volume 11 hits and they start doubling them up. I have one of each. Excuse me. So I have up to volume 11 of both Creepy and Eerie. So yeah, I'm my gosh. I am behind. I got I think they've released 13 volumes of both so far, if I'm not mistaken. And then I'm also still missing Creepy volumes 3 and 4. I still need to hunt those down. So no, I'm not caught up all the way. I guess I am behind. But how far along have you gotten, Josh? Been sitting here for 3 weeks like a fake Hoosier. I'll believe it when it happens. Real Hoosiers would never do this. Right, a real Hoosier would never prioritize real life over moderately informed comic chat. Did he think about the random strangers on the internet that just take and take? Who thought about the troll? Josh, are you calling yourself trolls? Oh, Badger Stump is asking for a support group. A support group of people that are not being talked to on the internet. You know where a good support group for that would be? Our Discord. Check it out below in the description. I'm sure one of the super producers will share a link shortly. But yes, we have a Discord where we talk comics over there off air. It's an exclusive group that anybody can join. There goes James Abel with the link. I know exclusive group that anybody could join is an oxymoron. However, I want to make it sound cool. But yes, I'm outside of the basement. I chose a little different setup. I'm just trying to mix things up a little bit here. This is actually the upstairs library of our house. If you've seen my tour video that I did, which I will be updating soon, by the way. But the tour video I did last March, I believe, you'll recognize this area. And I've done a few videos here and there. The 2001 Space Odyssey video I did up here too. I know trying to think of other ones. A lot of times I'll film the intro to my videos up here too, and then just do the rest down in the basement with the studio set up. I also did a show last Friday with Dom of X Studio over on Near Mint Condition. Omar was there as well, where we went over the solicitations for all of the non-Big Two publishers that we cover over on, or that he covers over on comicreleases.com. Creepy and Eerie 12 and 13 are out. Yes, so, which I don't think I've ordered those. I'm trying to think if I have them on the way at all. I do have a order coming in that's not here yet. It's been stuck in Indianapolis for a while. Let me see. I don't think it has any in the Creepy and Eerie, though, does it? No, it doesn't. Yes, I'm still missing 12 and 13 of both, and then 2 and 4 of Creepy. Butterfly in the Sky can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Yes, Chris Brogan is referring to my awesome shirt that I got the other day at a local shop here in Indy. But it says LeVar Burton, and then at the bottom it says read banned books. It's got LeVar on it. Really cool shirt. Josh, are you calling yourself a troll? With pride. Ooh. MZ Abrams. Hey, Taylor, did you vote on the Marvel Omnibus reprint poll? I have not yet. Do I have time? Yes. That one ends tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, that poll for the Omnibus reprint poll. I don't know that there's a ton on the poll that I have that I need or want. I don't know. I need to go look at it. Should we look at it live? Are you guys interested in looking at what's on the poll live? James Abel sharing a link to the poll right there. Reading Eerie 4 now. I got a few more trying to convince your sponsor to get creepy. They have Eerie 50% off. Who have you talked to, Josh? Because I can talk to them if you need to talk, or if we need to get that done. It should be pretty easy to throw Creepy and Eerie's up there. But what he's talking about with my sponsor, you can see scrolling at the bottom of the screen there, is panelboundcomics.com. And you can use my promo code Taylor Talks Comics, all one word, Taylor Talks Comics, and you'll save $2 off of your order. Or if you're going to put a larger order in and you want to save more money, if you're going to put an order in of 4 books or more, you can save 5% off of your order. It's a 5% additional savings off of their already great deals. Use my other promo code, which is TTC, ship it together. That's all one word, and you can see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen there. It's TTC, ship it together, all one word. But yeah, Josh, let me know who you've talked to. I try to get that done for you. Talk to David. Okay, I'll put in a word with some peeps that I know. But Josh, Devil Dino, you talking about this guy? Devil Dinosaur, the thinnest Marvel Omnibus, the one that's so thin that at the top they had to turn the font sideways on the Marvel Omnibus. The one that carries a price tag of $29.99. Look at that. Marvel Omnibus for $29.99. Who would have thunk it? I do wonder if they'd ever did bring this back to print, what the price would be. Honestly, I feel like if they were to bring this back to print, the route to go would be a gallery edition. I think that would probably be the better format. But I love this book. I read this with my son as well, because he was reading the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which is a fantastic series, by the way. If you've not read that, absolutely love Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I just look at the spread I open up to. So he was into that. So I was like, you got to read the original too, man. So I read this with him, and it's just it's like fun dinosaur comics. And there's just so many great 2-page spreads from Jack the King Kirby in it. I love that book. Good stuff. I'm not going to be able to put it back in there. Picture Peepers, howdy. How you doing? Picture Peepers. Doing great work over on the custom making books front. He always shares those into our Discord as well. And he has a YouTube channel. If someone wants to share a link to that, that'd be great. They have Erie at 1250. Well, everyone should go over there and pick up all the Erie they can. The only reprint I want was announced like the day of the poll started. Thor Aaron won. Yeah. Yeah, Omar, he snuck in quite a few of those reprints at the last minute there. It was fun and interesting. I have your address. I can rob you. Josh, if you showed up trying to rob me, I would just give you the book. I wouldn't put myself in danger. $40 for Devil Dinosaur. I got that for $20 and just like a couple years ago, because I think I've told this story before, which here's a tip for everybody trying to hunt down whales and such. I got it off eBay for really cheap because the person that posted it as Devil Dinosaur hardcover. They didn't have the word omnibus in there. So I think everyone that was searching for, or that had like saved searches for Devil Dinosaur, probably had like Devil Dinosaur omnibus as a save search. So it didn't flag anybody that had that save search on there because it just said Devil Dinosaur hardcover. Excuse me. So that's how I was able to get it for so cheap. So that's a little tip too, if you guys are trying to find, because I don't think that person knew what they had. I don't think they knew that it was out of print and hard to find, because I think I just threw it up there, thinking nobody probably knew what that was. I will see the Devil Dinosaur paperbacks get thrown up there and listed as omnibuses quite a bit, and that's really frustrating. But how many pages is that Omni? Well, I wish I would have saw your comment when I still had it out. I know it's 9 issues, right? Yeah, 9 issues. It is 175 pages. Because the last story page is on 173, and then they have a pinup with a house ad afterwards. So I'm going to assume it clocks in at 175. Which I'm pretty sure is still less than the Planet of the Apes one, right? Probably matched the Planet of the Apes price. That was $100, wasn't it? And that had a licensing price as well, though. The Planet of the Apes one, I think, was a little bit higher in price because of the licensing. I think if they bring it back, it'll probably at max it'll be $75. I don't think they would go the full 100 on it. That'd be insane. Especially since they've already got the files. They've already oversized, made the treatment oversized. There's no restoration they need to do. I feel like they max out at 75, but I would even be shocked if it's maybe even 65. If they bring it back, I hope they will combine with something, a la the Kirby Returns Monster Edition. That'd be a fun idea. What would they combine it with, though? Honestly, I'll tell you too, guys. I'm on the hunt for the original Eternals Omnibus, not the expanded one, because I actually sold that copy. I want just the original Eternals Omnibus that just has the 20 issues that Kirby did. 1 for shelf space, and 2, that's just the copy I want. Same thing I did with the Captain Britain Omnibus. When they expanded that one, I actually found a copy from somebody for a fairly good price. Probably the same price I would have paid for the expanded edition, because I wanted just the Alan Moore stuff. So I have the original Captain Britain Omnibus. The same thing, I want just the Eternals. It'll save shelf space, but also I just want the Kirby stuff. So I actually sold my expanded copy. I've been kind of on the hunt for the other one. And right now it's kind of hard to find because they both are out of print. The original edition will probably never be reprinted, because if they ever do reprint Eternals, they'll probably do the expanded version. So I was more, when the Captain Britain Omnibus was getting reprinted, I was much more aggressive about like going out and say, hey, everybody, you might be upgrading. Is anybody upgrading that wants to sell their old copy? I should have done that when the Eternals Omnibus was coming out. Look at books you will never get to buy on YouTube. What video is this? Is this the omnibus reprint? What is this? What link is that, Josh? 2001. Combine it with 2001. That would be actually be. That would be interesting. I know you put LOL afterwards because it'll probably never happen. Not only because 2001 will probably never get reprinted, but even if Marvel did reprint 2001, they would never be able to combine it with Devil Dinosaur. Probably there'd probably be some sort of licensing issue where whoever was in agreement with whoever's in agreement with Marvel over letting them reprint 2001 would probably never let them pack in Devil Dinosaur. So I know you're saying that facetiously, but that'd be if that could happen, that'd be a kind of a fun combination, especially with all the prehistoric kind of aspects of 2001. Would kind of fit in line with the theme of Devil Dinosaur a little bit. It's not too far out of the realm. I just don't know what they could combine Devil Dinosaur in that would make sense. Because they still have plenty of Kirby. I'm still wanting a Kirby Western omnibus. I love the Kirby War Romance omnibus, which I don't think I can pull up. Yeah, this one. This is such a cool book, and I don't know this will ever be reprinted. So if you are trying to find this, I'll track it down sooner rather than later. But I absolutely love this book. It's such a cool thing just to package in all this Kirby stuff into this book. And I think they have enough material they can do one of these for just Western stuff from Kirby that's never been reprinted. And I kind of hope they do that. I'm pretty sure this is a Corey Settlemeyer project, right? And I think he has kind of a say in what he does. Is this a Settlemeyer project? Yeah, Corey Settlemeyer did this one. So I'm hoping Settlemeyer will try to pitch a Western book. But again, I don't know that there's anything. I don't know that there's any like enough rarities of Kirby that would make sense to pack in with Devil Dinosaur. That's an interesting thought, though. You're worse than Melanie. What? It's Picture Peeper's channel. Oh, well, sorry. Okay. I thought you were sharing like my library tour or something. That makes sense, though. I got you. But Machine Man, Black Panther, and Captain America could fill a nice omni. Sounds weird, but creators focused hodgepodge collections like that come out all the time. And I don't hate those collections. I don't know why people do hate those collections, honestly. I guess people prefer to read a story all at once, but I don't know. I'm on the side of I don't mind. Maybe it's because I like the art in comics more than I do the story. I love story. I don't know what to say. I'm art first more than I am story, but I do love collections like that, and just to have Kirby's Black Panther, his 70s Captain America, and Machine Man. That'd be a thick omnibus, though. Like Kirby's 70s omnibus. Because we already have the Captain America ones. Like, how many pages is that? Dun, 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 dun. It's 625 pages for just the Captain America 70s run by Kirby. And then the Black Panther run, I think he did issues 1 through 12 of that. That run lasted for 15 issues, but he only did the first 12. And then Devil Dinosaur, Machine Man, he only did the first 10 issues. Or first 9 issues, I forget. I mean, I guess that'd be a thick omnibus, but that'd be an interesting one. I did opt out of the Black Panther omnibus, the one that just came out with this run on it, because I have the Epic collection still, and I do want that Kirby Black Panther oversized, but I don't know. I'm running out of shelf space, and I didn't really want all the other material in the omnibus that came out. I'm not going to be able to get that back in there. Bum, ba-dum, bum. It's hard too, since Marvel doesn't seem to be printing as much these days. I swear they just want new X-Men. What the? Yeah, I mean, they're not reprinting a lot. Is that what you mean? And that's true. Like the last 2 years, they haven't reprinted much. I think I wasn't able to be on the stream, unfortunately, with New York Edition. I was supposed to be, but I wasn't able to make it. I think they only reprinted like 2 of the top 20 last year. Is that right? Which is crazy because they went a number of years ever since Omar started doing the reprint pool. They were doing like 17, 18 of the top 20 reprints they're pumping out. And now it seems like Marvel's just pumping out new material, which is great. But I feel like they're going to get to the point where they're making so many different omnibuses that it's going to be hard to get some of these like lower level omnibuses to be reprinted ever. That's why if you're into the weird omnibuses like I am, you got to get them when they first come out. I don't know that they'll be reprinted. Like if they ever did a Machine Man omnibus, that's a character I would say definitely pick up that omnibus whenever it comes out, because I don't know that it'll ever be reprinted. The Kirby Warren Romance, I don't know that this will ever be reprinted. What other weird ones am I into? Like the Kirby Monsters and Ditko's Suspense omnibuses, I don't think will ever be reprinted. Devil Dinosaur, I don't really see that being reprinted. Sorry, Josh. I mean, heck, the Shield omnibus by Steranko. That one, it's a great omnibus. It has great Kirby and Steranko artwork in it. I don't think it's ever been reprinted, and I don't think it ever will be. Cut Captain America, now that I think about it. Complete Black Panther, Machine Man, Double Dino would be a nice omnibus. Okay, now you're talking. That makes sense. Because that's about 19, 30. Yeah, it's like 31, 32 issues. Yeah, that's a great omnibus. And it's called like 70s Kirby bombastic, crazy, action-packed omnibus. Now you're thinking, Picture Peepers. See, you're meant to be a bookmaker. I'm alone. I want more Marvel Penguin classics. I enjoy sampling the classics. Like, give me a taste. They announced Thor. Those are, yeah, I'm with you too, Josh. Like, I love sitting down and reading all of one run. That's great. But to have it on my shelf forever, like, am I going to go through and read every single issue of that run again? Or am I going to just kind of hit the high points? I don't know. I mean, I have reread omnibuses before, but it's almost like the first time I read it, I want every issue, but then to preserve it on my shelf, I don't need every single issue, if that makes sense. I can see Fantagraphics doing better with Devil Dino. If they were to do that, Josh, I would get it in a heartbeat, because I know the restoration would be great. That Barry Windsor Smith book that they're coming out with is beautiful, and the fact that they're doing a Steranko one, we talked about that on this channel. I don't know if we had any influence on it. I'm not saying we did. I didn't hear otherwise, or I didn't hear that we did or anything. But when that Barry Windsor Smith book was announced, and we talked about it on this channel, like what would be the cool creators that you could do a collection like that of, that don't have like you couldn't do a Kirby line because that would be like 45 volumes. Well, not that many, but it'd be a lot. But Barry Windsor Smith are doing 3 volumes. It's like a nice, succinct line of books, and you get all of Barry Windsor Smith's Marvel career, sans Conan. But we talked about other creators that you could do that with that have like a limited run, but enough to pack in. And Steranko, I think, was the best answer we came up with. And they're doing it now. And I think it's all in one volume. So they're going to get all of Steranko's Marvel work, which is going to have like all of his S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, all of his Captain America stuff, which is only 3 issues, but still fantastic issues. And then, his X-Men issues. He did X-Men in the early run. He came up with the X-Men logo that we all know and love. And then he did some spot issues here and there, like the one that was in the Lost Marvels book. The first one. If you had to make space on your shelves right now, what's the first book in your collection you'd get rid of? That's too big of an answer, MZ. I'm actually on the process of selling a bunch of books. My table downstairs is a mess right now. Part of the reason why I'm doing this up here. But it's just stacks of books that I'm selling because 1, I need to make space, and 2, I just need to get rid of books. Like it's just a thing. I need to get rid of books. So a lot. I guess it'd probably be easier to answer what my process is. Am I thinking of getting rid of a book? And it's usually 1, am I going to reread it? I guess the first answer is, did I enjoy it? And if I didn't, then I'm getting rid of it. But that's not even the answer to this, because I get rid of those books rather quickly. If I read a book and didn't enjoy it, I don't keep it in my collection for any number of time. It's just there's no point. Especially like I've gone past the point of needing a book in my collection just to have like a whole run. Like I'm collecting all of Flash in omnibus format, but if I got to an omnibus and like didn't like it, I'm not going to keep it just to have all the Flash in my collection. So if I don't like a book, I get rid of it rather quickly. But if it's on my shelf now, my thought process for getting rid of them is: 1, am I going to reread it? 2, could I get this in a different format that would save shelf space, that I wouldn't hate it? Like I'm considering, like I have the Deadly Class in oversized hardcovers, but if I get that into the compendium, I save a lot of shelf space that way. So like that's kind of a consideration. I'm almost considering doing that with Black Hammer. Like I absolutely love Black Hammer. I've done multiple videos on Black Hammer, but I'm almost considering getting the paperback omnibuses, because my shelf that can house my library editions / absolute editions is very limited. So I get rid of Black Hammer, I can put more absolute editions up there, and I can still put Black Hammer, the paperback edition, on a different shelf. Yeah, those are some of my thoughts. Getting rid of books, I don't know. It is hard. I really enjoyed Warlord. Love the paper, but so thick. The paper's thick. I love the paper quality in that book. It almost made me want to get the book more than just. I want to read it anyways, and I like Mike Grell. But it wasn't like a book I was like rushing out to get. But I'm getting to the point where like I'm almost becoming more of a paper snob than I ever was, because like the experience of reading is so different when it's a book that makes sense. And Omar did allude to, I haven't talked to him personally about this, so I don't know, but he did allude that more omnibuses from DC will be published with that paper stock. And it sounded like he's alluding to the classic stuff will be printed on that paper stock because it makes sense for it to be printed on that paper stock. And then the newer material will be on glossy. Basically, what they should be doing is reprinting the book on a similar paper quality that it was originally printed on. So if it was originally printed on cheap newsprint paper, they should be looking for a similar paper quality to that. Obviously, you don't want to do newsprint because it doesn't age well. But if you could get like a matte paper stock that will hold the color in a similar fashion rather than glossy, then it makes sense. Newer, more modern comics that are printed on glossy paper on the single issues should then be reprinted on glossy paper. That's more of the thinking they should do. I feel like, at least. I'll give you $3 for your creepies. No, Josh, I'm making shelf space for those. Although the shelf that they're on currently is running low, but I'll make shelf space for those. That's not an issue. Small J Johnny, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. Great icon there. Picture Peepers, you're talking to Jack Kirby, Black Panther, Machine Man, Double Dinosaur, Omni. If so, what about the even more oversized gallery edition? Oops, Taylor suggested that. Yeah, I think Devil Dinosaur in a gallery edition would be cool. It's 35 issues and thicker than ones that are 50. Okay. It is really wonderful paper. I love it. DC just eats shelves. Yeah, with their thick books. That's for sure. I think the Joker Omnibus has the same paper stock. Yeah, and I was kind of upset that the Spectre Omnibus, the original printing of that omnibus, had awesome matte paper. And I heard it was an accident. But what's going on here? But then they reprinted it on glossy paper, and that was really quite annoying, actually. Oh, okay. Chris Brogan sharing a link in the Discord. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Just dropped you a link in Discord. Is that the book you're looking for? I think so. Let me double check. Yes. Yes, that one, because it just has just the 19 issues plus the annual of Kirby. And I love Kirby's Eternals. If you've not read it, the way I describe it is if you've read Kirby's Fourth World, which is magnificent, with Forever People, New Gods, Mr. Miracle, and Jimmy Olsen's Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, that takes up I have it right here. It's like this is all that material, and I think it was a total. I mean, it's at least 11 to 33. Just doing quick math here. 50 issues ish of material, and which, by the way, I have these because the paper quality is so nice on this version, as opposed to the big fat omnibus that came out with, or the absolute editions. This paper quality is amazing. I absolutely love reading this. Like, just the enjoyment I get out of this reading experience on this paper, it just feels it's just beautiful. It just feels good in my soul. So his Fourth World run was about 50 issues total, and the Eternals felt like, so he did the Eternals afterwards when he went back to Marvel, and the Eternals is kind of a similar feel as far as like this ancient discovering this ancient different world of people and stuff. It has a very similar vibe to the Fourth World, but it almost felt like Kirby was, because they cut Fourth World short on him after issue 11. They just said you can't do any more. Mr. Miracle lasted 7 or 8 more issues, but all the rest was cut short. And it was heartbreaking for Kirby. He had ambitions and a goal to go for the rest of his career doing this stuff. But they cut it short, and it was really heartbreaking. And then insulting when a year and a half later they asked him if he wanted to continue with the New Gods. But so he went to Marvel and he was doing this Eternals thing, and he's like, "This is my next chance of doing a similar type of story where I get to build this whole entire world with these characters." And reading the Eternals, it feels like he only has one title now. He doesn't have the 4 titles he had with the Fourth World, and it feels like he's like, "I'm going to pack in as much as I want, or as much as I can in every single issue, because I don't know when they're going to cancel this on me." So it almost feels like he's packing in all this stuff, like the amount of ideas that he had for Fourth World into just 19 issues when they eventually cut him off and cut it short. So like every single page is like filled with new ideas and new concepts and new characters. Like, it's just like, it never stops going. It's wonderful. I need to read Eternals and want Captain Victory. That's actually a massive hole in my Kirby reading. I've never read any of his 1980s work. Well, I take that back. I've read his Superpowers, but that's it. So I haven't read any of his Captain Victory stuff, or anything he did with Topps. Or I guess it was eventually reprinted by Topps. I don't know. I forget the printing history with that era of Kirby. That whole era of Kirby is just like a massive black hole in my brain. I got those for the Demon. I don't think I had the Demon. But you're talking about this omnibus, though? The Demon one is one I'm missing. I'm trying to get all of them. I want to get all the Kirby books in that format. I have Commandy. I have the... What is this one called? Jack Kirby Omnibus Volume 1 with Green Arrow stuff in it. And I have his Sandman, which is fun. And then I have the 4 Fourth Worlds, the 2 Commandees, and then I have OMAC, of course. I've shown this off on my channel. And then I have the 2 Steve Ditko books as well. But as far as Kirby, I still need the Demon. I still need Volume 2 that has all the superpower stuff in it. And then there's also the Losers and Boy Commandos. I plan on getting Fourth World in the DC Finest format. That'll be a good format to get it in. It'll be in a good reading order in that format. MZ, if you have not read that before, I will say that first volume, the Finest that's coming out, it has good stuff in it. One thing I always advise people that are trying to read Fourth World for the first time, though, is don't get hung up on the Jimmy Olsen issues. They're almost, I almost want to tell people that are reading the Fourth World for the first time to ignore those issues. Not because they're not good, but they just, especially as the run gets going, they have less and less to do with the Fourth World. It is a fun run because what Kirby does with Jimmy Olsen is he takes Jimmy Olsen and instead of making him like this goofy newsboy, which those past stories are fun as well. But what he does instead is he takes Jimmy Olsen and turns him almost into like this archaeologist, like Indiana Jones type adventure character. And he's kind of like going back into studying and exploring like the Fourth World in a way. So they're really fun stories, but people get bogged down with those and then they miss kind of the beauty of what the Fourth World is. So if you find yourself reading those and getting bogged down with the Jimmy Olsen issues, just kind of skip over them and go back to them. Like skim through them because there is some, like Darkseid's first appearance is at the very end of one of the issues. With that said, though, that first volume of the DC Finest, I think, has the first 4 issues of all of them. So what will be in volume 2 and then 3 will be like the best Fourth World stuff. So if you like that first volume, it's only going to get better. He also wanted Ditko to do Mr. Miracle. This is true. Kirby, his goal with the Fourth World was to kick off the books because that's kind of what his job was with Marvel in the Silver Age, was like they always had Kirby start the books. So he would like be in charge of doing the first few issues or just doing layouts for books, and then they would take off from there. So his goal with Fourth World is like he wanted to write everything and edit everything, but he just wanted to kick him off as the artist and then eventually pass him on to other artists. And the big rumor was that Ditko was going to do Mr. Miracle, which would be amazing. The Fourth World Absolutes are great versions. I've actually never looked through one in person myself. I just assumed it was on the same glossy paper as the Big Fat Omnibus, which I don't think that's a bad format. I just prefer the paper quality in that one. And also, these are much easier. Like the first time I ever read the Fourth World in its entirety was in that Big Fat Red Omnibus. It's actually my first omnibus I ever owned. Was that Big Fat Red one. I have a couple of videos showing it off on my channel as well. I think my first omnibus overview on my channel was the Big Fat Red Omnibus. But I got rid of it for these because if I'm ever whenever I reread these, it's much easier to take this little standard size hardcover and throw it in my backpack on the go than that Big Fat Red Omnibus. So I knew that having it in this format is going to allow me to reread it more often, I should say. Which is another consideration when I'm selling books. Like I sold the Big Fat Doom Patrol Omnibus by Grant Morrison. I absolutely love and adore that run, and I haven't yet. But I want to pick up the 3 thick trade paperbacks that came out with that run, anyways. Because again, I'll reread it more often if it's in that smaller format that I could take on the go. Excited for the Demon Absolute. It is saying how often he got canceled, and now these companies are printing oversized books. I know, isn't it? That's even the more tragic part. Just the amount of money that DC's made off of the Darkseid character alone is insane, considering how they treated Kirby as far as cutting the story short. He was just ahead of his time. The Fourth World, if he was doing it, even a decade later, but even decades later, he would have been good. He would have been able to go on with the whole thing. People would have been more in tune with that format, especially when it started getting collected and collected editions, which didn't really exist back then. They kind of made that into collected editions, though, eventually when they started reprinting and packing in. I think it was like 2 issues per reprinted issue. The Monster Size edition of the Eternals is an unbelievable book. Collected the entire run, unlike the other Monster Size books. Yeah, that one's crazy because it's not only is it massive, but it has all 20 issues in there. The 19 issues plus the annual, which is exactly the same content that I want in the omnibus format. I'm just running out of space for very tall books as well. I did just get the Wallace Wood Artist Edition in, and that video will be coming out. I don't know. I've got the video for that coming out, or the video for Locust, the hardcover. You tell me in the chat. Which video should I release sooner? The Wallace Wood Artist Edition or the Locust Love and Rockets thick hardcover? Because those are my next 2 videos I'm releasing. I think I'm going to release one later this evening and then one tomorrow. So you guys let me know in the chat. I think I can make a poll or something, can I? No, I can't do it on StreamYard. Maybe I can. I don't know. You tell me. There's not enough people in here for a poll. Locas or Wallace Wood? Commandia is some of the best. Commandia is awesome. Very, very good. I own it. Need to read OMAC and things. OMAC is a blast. Absolutely love that. Found another link for the book for you. Chris Brogan, you're amazing. Taylor, you strong like bull. Carry the heavy book. It's not even just carrying it though. Like I don't mind. I throw omnibuses in my backpack all the time and take them on the go. But it's like this, like the comfortability of reading. Like I can't even read it on the go. I can't read it wherever I'm at. I can't read it on reading it on airplanes not comfortable. Reading it in a hotel room, like wherever, I don't know. I don't mind throwing omnibuses in my back. People think I'm crazy for that too. That like I take omnibuses and throw them in my backpack and put them on the go. Like they're meant to be read. Like they're not these like trophies. I feel like you're becoming Paperback Dan. Don't tell him that. He'll enjoy that too much. DC is better since they brought him back for toy design. At least he got a paycheck. That's true. That is true. Both today, now. No. I can't do both. YouTube won't like that. I got 2 votes for Wallace Wood, but both eventually. This channel hates Love and Rockets. Bold. Well, I got 2 votes, or 2.5 votes, I guess, because Josh said both. 2.5 votes for the Wallace Wood book. So I will be doing that. That book is mind-blowingly good, though. Like, it's such a beautiful artist edition. It's the same size, I think, around the same size. I don't know if it's the exact same size, but the same size as the Batman Year One, because that's the size of the paper that all of the EC artists drew on. But I've never seen a lot of the EC art in that format before. Like I've seen some art pages here and there because they're in other collections. I have the Artisan edition of this one over here, which I've shown this off on my channel. The Artisan edition of the best of EC stories, which I do wonder if Scott Dunbier will do a format like this for Act 4 Publishing. These are like the smaller formats. They do like the Artist edition, and then they do these Artisan editions, which are still oversized. Like this is compared to an omnibus. Like it's still taller than an omnibus, but they're much more affordable too. They're $39.99, and this had Wallace Wood stories in it. How many did it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it has 4 Wallace Wood stories in it. So I've seen it before like this, but I've never seen it in the full size before. It's an amazing book. And they expanded it too. There's more stories in it than ever before. Okay, so I got a bunch of books that I hauled. And a viewer sent me a whole box of amazing books, which I have to show off as well. So I don't even know where to start. I have some books that one viewer sent me, and then a whole box of books that another viewer sent me, and then some other stuff that I've gotten along the way. So I think I'm going to start off with the stuff that I've gotten along the way. Oh no. Someone's in the chat. Here is the secret. Dan and Taylor in Low Hit are so much like each other than they would admit. They love, hate omnibus digital and singles, but read all the formats. That's not untrue. I do read comics in all formats. That's more, whenever I talk to Dan about that, that's the thing I always tell him about is like, I feel like he should be more agnostic about formats because he's missing out on so many comics. If you don't know, Paperback Dan, which he has his own YouTube channel, and he's been doing a lot of Instagram and TikTok, by the way. Seek him out on Instagram. That's probably the best way to follow him. Just at Paperback Dan. But he only buys standard size paperbacks. It's the only format he'll ever buy in comics. Someone gifted him an omnibus, I think, but if he's buying it, he's only buying one format. And single issues, I guess, too. But so he gets upset if he gets a paperback that's not trim size isn't standard, and he definitely doesn't buy any hardcovers on purpose. But he's missing out on so many comics that way. But to his point, he hasn't read all the comics in his collection, so what can he do? It's amazing. Got mine in the other day. I missed out on all the EC artist editions they had done. Me too, Picture Peepers. And that was the one I wanted the most, was the Wally Wood one. I think the next one I'd want the most would be the Mad Magazine one. By the way, if you want Love and Rockets but don't have space, oh, is that the Humble Bundle? There's a great Humble Bundle on that. All right, so these books I picked up by myself. I think I showed this off on the Discord. But I got Vibe Shift by Noah Van Sciver. This was released by Koos. I don't know. Did I show this on my channel when I hauled it? Maybe I did. And then I also got Noah Van Sciver's his last comic. This was a reprint. This is a mini comic. Koos is a cool company. They're Swedish. I think they're Swedish. And they just find cool cartoonists to do little projects for them. And they have these mini Koos they do. And they're like just mini comics. This is the 60th one they came out with. But it's just Noah Van Sciver, who's one of my favorite cartoonists going today. I'm going to try to do an interview with Noah. He's got a new book coming out this year. So my goal is to get him on for an interview. I've interacted with him quite a bit in the DMs, so I feel like he would probably come on. But this is Vibe Shift, and this is a cool collection of a bunch of different material. Like I recognized a lot of this material that I have in the mini comics. So it's not brand new. I don't know if there's any brand new stuff in here. But if it's a new Noah Van Sciver book, I'm going to pick it up. I just got to the point with him that I just pick up everything he does because he's one of my favorites. Tell Dan why he is wrong. Yes, go on there and tell him to buy hardcovers. That'd be funny. I bought the L&R Humble a few years ago. Is this one any different? I don't know. Name one Noah Van Sciver book I should read. Loadhead, I've told you this. We've talked about this. Where is it? This is the answer for anybody wanting to know the answer to this question. Phantom Bukowski. Fantagraphics has released this thick trade paperback. So it'll give you a huge sample size of Noah Van Sciver and what makes him so great. It's $34.99 cover price, so not too bad. And Phantom Bukowski is a story of this self-important writer. He thinks he's like the best writer of all time. And he thinks that he should be famous and rich and famous and everyone should buy his books. But the truth is he's not that great. And so it's like the ultimate self-deprecation, the ultimate just like fun story of this writer that thinks he's better than he actually is. It's hilarious. It shows off what makes Noah Van Sciver such a great storyteller. And I think that's his strongest point is his books are page turners because you just can't stop reading them. Like the flow of his stories is so wonderful. His cartooning is great as well. And this is the introduction to Noah Van Sciver that everybody should read. However, this is also a good start. And this is as a cartoonist. This is a slim little hardcover. And this was only $19.99. So if you want a little bit of a cheaper option. But this has a lot of his autobio comics. And I love his autobiography, the autobio comics. So you're going to get a mix of his. And it's not just one story. It goes in different stages. So you see some of his stuff when he's younger. There's even a story about him when he's on the road kind of selling Phantom Bukowski. And there's stories of him. I don't know. Does this have stories when he's a dad yet? I don't know. But at different stages of his life. And this is a cool collection of if you're into autobio comics. So for Noah Van Sciver, start with one of these. Show me the internal art. It's just like fun cartooning. And his cartooning has only gotten better. Especially early on in his career. If you look at his early stuff, he was more into like this kind of R. Crumb, obsessive like cross-hatching stuff, art that was insane. But he's developed a style that's like totally his own. Like I could pick out Noah Van Sciver art out of a lineup. And now he's doing different things with like the color and the layouts and things. So like he uses color a lot to tell different ways to tell different stories. But yeah, Noah Van Sciver's great. I'm going to try to get him on. And is it more comedic? Yeah, all of his stuff is like definitely more comedic. Yeah. Like there's like heartwarming moments and stuff, but it definitely leans more on the comedic side, I would say. Is it standard sized? Phantom Bukowski? I don't even know. See, that's how much I don't care. Let's see. No. This is it compared to an Epic collection. It's shorter than an Epic collection and not as wide. So I guess Dan will never read it. Another Taylor Talks Noah book. All right. Back to my haul. This is a book that's coming out soon. It's by Kim Deitch. How I Make Comics. This book is beautiful looking. So Fantagraphics is reprinting reincarnation stories. And then this is a new book by Kim Deitch. I'm excited to read this. This is it's not even like I haven't read it yet, so I can't tell 100% what it's about, but it doesn't look like it's a how to make comics book. It seems to be more of an autobiography, how I make comics type book, if that makes sense. So it's not like a understanding comics or Marvel's what was that? How to make comics the Marvel way kind of book. There's some color pages in here, which is cool. But Kim Deitch is a cartoonist that I've been getting into more, and the viewer that sent me some books knew that and sent me some. So you'll see more Kim Deitch. That's what I'm trying to say. Here's another review copy I got from Fantagraphics, Book of Murmurs by Candace Perwin, and this is another beautiful looking book. It's got some like sparkly spot gloss on it. I don't think you can see the sparkles. It's got some like glittery spot gloss with some beautiful French flaps. But this book looks really incredible, like the artwork in it. And it's about witches, I think. And I think it might be all ages. I'm going to read it first because my son is into stories with magic in them. So I'm going to read it first myself to make sure, but I think it might be appropriate for him. I don't know. I couldn't find out any information on the recommended age level. But there's some black and white pages and some color pages. And I think this comes out next month. No, March. This comes out this month. So this will be a review you see soon. And then, Josh, I know you joked about this. The half-price books I go to. I think at one episode I was joking about how I can't ever find Mobius stuff. Or something. And you said, oh yeah, but your half-price books has the rare Mobius stuff that you found. And it's true. I found the Blueberry book at the half-price books. I found the Airtight Garage at another local place, but it wasn't half-price books. But anyways, I found this, and I didn't even know this existed at my local half-price books. It's The Magic Crystal by Mobius and Batty. Now, Mobius does the writing and the layouts for this. He doesn't do all of the art. I think he pitched in on some of the artwork. So it's not pure Mobius artwork, but definitely it has that vibe to it. I'm not familiar with Batty, Mark Batty's style, or his artwork, but it definitely has a similar vibe to Mobius. And I think Mobius cites this guy Batty as teaching him a lot about comic book coloring, which the coloring in this book is beautiful. And this is like 3 volumes, I believe, this Magic Crystal book. And I need to pick up the other 2, but it's in like this European album format. But it was just more Mobius that I didn't even know existed to put on my shelf. Son of a... Oh! Do you know Magic Crystal, Josh? Are you familiar? Then I had a viewer, Simon, which I talked about this on my last live show, but I didn't have them on hand to show off because I couldn't reach wherever they were. But he is an amazing viewer. He sent these from overseas. So again, Simon, eternally grateful for this. But he sent me some Hideshi Hino manga. So he sent me this one, which is Lullabies from Hell, which is this manga. This was published by Dark Horse back in the day. Has the old school Dark Horse manga logo. I wonder if they'll go back to that. Because they have been... Oh, Book of Murmurs is 14 and older. Okay, I was gonna say on the little solicit page, because Fantagraphics, whenever I get a review copy, puts a little solicit page on the inside, which is awesome. But it didn't have an age on here. Well, there you go. I mean, my son's 11. I'm still gonna read it before I give it to him, but we'll see. A book that he will not be reading though is Lullabies from Hell by Hideshi Hino. And it's an old school Dark Horse manga that came out way back in the day. But I'm a huge fan of classic manga, and I'm a huge fan of horror manga. And Hideshi Hino is supposed to be like one of the kings of like really grotesque, crazy looking horror comics. And just look at that stuff. It says one of the most disturbing minds in Japanese manga. I'm trying to show stuff off that I can, but I just love the artwork though. Just really, really beautiful stuff. So, longtime viewers know this, and if you don't, every October I do my 31 days of horror comics, where I show off a different horror comic, horror manga, or horror comic related topic every single day of October. And you can bet your bottom dollar I will be having a Hideshi Hino episode in October. He also sent me these are both by Starfruit Books, which rest in peace. Starfruit Books is no longer a thing. I think I saw Living the Lines taking him over though. But he sent me The Town of Pigs and Panorama of Hell, which are both out of print. Look at that cover. Like that is like freaky. And I love it. And look at that back. I love disturbing horror. Like just, I don't know. There's enough scary things in real life that I need to find disturbing crap to scare me, I guess. Here's some interiors. Any Hideshi Hino fans in the house? But this will be my first time reading Hideshi Hino. I've always wanted to. I love the way he draws faces too. Like he has a very distinct face that he draws with the big round eyes. Oh, there's even like a cool little art print in here from Starfruit. And here's Panorama of Hell, which I think is his most famous story. Oh, there's an art print in here too. Shout out to Starfruit Books and rest in peace. Both to the publishing company and the publisher. He sadly is no longer with us. But yeah, this looks sick and demented, but I can't wait to read it. So yeah, Hideshi Hino will be on my 31 Days of Horror Comics. No, I just realized Corto Maltese's Fable of Venice and Other Adventures coming today. Oh yes, I got that book as well. I should have shown that off on a haul. So I need to do. Does that come out this week? I need to do my video on that then. That Jack Kirby Omni Volume 1 is my holy grail books to get. I have a couple of friends here who collected those regular sized hardcover DC Kirby Omnis. I enjoy helping them collect what's missing. Oh yeah, that book's awesome. I actually, you know what? Shout out to Jess Bragg, Omni Dog. He had this and I bought it off of him because he knew I love Kirby. And yeah, this is stuff. This is like his golden age stuff for DC. The first time he was with DC before he went to Marvel, and it's great because he doesn't have like his figure drawing. Kirby's figure drawing in this golden age is a lot different than what he would evolve into. But like you can see like the Kirby tech and things start to really start to come out of his work. I just love Jack Kirby. There's just something about Jack Kirby that if someone came in and wiped out my whole entire comic book collection except for my Jack Kirby stuff, I'd still have like, I don't know. I'd be fine with that. I'd be sad, but I'd be fine with it. Did you read Drome? Yes, I did, Low Hit, and it is amazing. Is it down here? Or up here, I mean. It might be downstairs. But it was on my favorite books I read last year. My top, I forget what I did. Top 25, yeah. My top 25 comics of 2025. It's on that list. Amazing book. A lot of Kirby Fourth World energy in that book too. Starfruit felt like your jam, definitely. Especially, I mean, I think the next evolution of that has been the smudge imprint, right? Which you can't see those, but they're up there. Okay, Josh, I want a review of that book tomorrow. Buy it. Hey, I have put out a video of the week. Last video only has 1 view. What? Which video is that, Josh? We need to fix that. Share your video in here. Share your channel. Everybody go follow Josh on YouTube. Didn't Core 2 get announced for a line of complete hardcovers too? Yes, they did. I'm slightly upset about that, but 2 different books. Taylor, top 25 books he talks about. I'm ordering Drome. It's awesome. Little hit, and it's mostly silent, so you're gonna read it real fast, but it's really, really great. Okay. So now this next box of books is this huge. And I'm gonna try to get through this. This was sent to me by, he is known in our Discord channel as Gary Busey. I don't know if he wants to share his real name or not, but he sent me an email saying, hey, I want to send you a care package of indie comics. Would you mind? And I said, absolutely freaking not. I'm never going to turn down comics. So here's Josh's video. Josh rambles about his first Walter Simonson book. Well, what the hell? Josh, I need to be better about watching your. I don't watch a lot of YouTube content about comics much anymore. So I need to be better about that though. So I need to watch your stuff more and share it. Because you have a lot of great opinions on comics. Gary is a real person. I thought it was just the doll brought to life. He is. Need 11 to get to 500 followers. Everybody go check out Cupcake Comic Reviews as well. Really? 500 where? On Instagram or YouTube? Regardless, go to Cupcake Comic Reviews and subscribe to Low Hits channel. All right, so there's so much good stuff in here. The first thing I'm going to show off is Nathan Cowdery's Sea Diver, Volume 1. Nathan Cowdery is an awesome cartoonist that I've got War Epic and what's the other one called? His hardcover that came out with Fantagraphics. I showed him off recently. Instagram. Okay, so Cupcake Comic Reviews on Instagram. Low Hit's talking about. But this is an older comic that he did that I didn't think I'd ever get my hands on, and it's Sea Diver. He has a really cool style. We talked about him on the Simon Hanselman interview that I did. Simon Hanselman is a friend and fan of Nathan Cowdery's. I know Harvey Picard's Ghost is a fan of his as well. I don't know if he's in the chat. I don't think he's in the chat, but I don't know if he's around. Then he sent me some Jay McQuern stuff. So I got Sketchbook Volume 3. And he's a cartoonist that I've always heard about, but I don't own anything from. So this is a sketch. It's just what it sounds like, a sketchbook of cool things that he's drawn. And then these are issues 1 and 2 of a story called There's Not a Dolphin in My Closet. And it says part 1 and 2 of 6. So if I dig this, I need to hunt down the rest of it. But no idea what this is about, but I do like the cartooning in it. It looks like it's him at his drawing table, so maybe some autobio stuff in here. I do like the feel of these single issues, though. Like the covers have like some I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. I want to say sticky, but that sounds gross. Not like that. It's just like, it's not smooth. What? That is such a random time. I know. There's not a dolphin in my closet, but it doesn't say what it's about. So it's going to be one of those comics that I don't know what it's about until I read them. Is it screen printed? Possibly. Oh, it's a diary comic by Jay McKearns, it says. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. It could be screen printed. I guess that is a similar feel to it. He sent me Tricked by Alex Robinson. Alex Robinson is one of the cartoonists that I really got into when I first got back into comics. I've talked a lot about how Jeff Lemire was my reintroduction into comics. I didn't read comics for like 5 years. And then I bought, I forget the name of it. It's the hockey book they're all hockey books. I'm drawing a blank. Jeff Lemire comic. I got back into comics, but another one I bought was the Box Office Poison by Alex Robinson, and it's a fantastic book. Tricked, I feel like I might have read from my library, but I don't own it. But that was an amazing thing too. Somehow, miraculously, everything that Gary Busey sent me, I don't own any of it. I don't know how he managed to do that. So I don't own this, but I'll be excited to read this again by Alex Robinson. Sadly, Alex Robinson doesn't do comics anymore. I think he does some podcasts and things, but he really is an awesome cartoonist and an awesome storyteller. Box Office Poison, I cannot recommend enough. That is an amazing, amazing comic. He sent me a letter too saying, thanks for the content, spreading the love. Looking forward to your overview of the new Barry Windsor Smith book. So I will definitely be shouting you out. Gary Busey. Chase is his first name. I don't know if he wants me to say that or not, but thank you so much again. I'm always amazed and blown away when anybody sends me anything. So just, it's humbling. Thank you so much. He sent me a Power Pulp Comics bookmark, which is a great publishing company that I need to check out more of. They've got Jim Rugg, and then it's recently got Rick Veitch, are the big names on there, but they also have Chris Anderson, Brad Dwyer, Corrine Halbert, James Coates, Kurt Burdick, Sam J. Royal, Tony Farrow, a lot of good stuff on Power Pulp Comics. And he sent me this postcard or whatever this is, but it's Santos Sisters, which I love. So that's cool. These are all by Desmond Reed, and I can already tell you that I'm going to love these. This is Apples, Memories, and Trash. But I absolutely love this art style already and the color usage on these covers. But yeah, these are going to be fun to read. I love this box so much because whenever I am in a reading funk, I'm just going to go to my Gary Busey doll box and seek some stuff out. I actually need to retract. I do have this already. This is Rainbow 3.5, but this is an earlier printing and it's in pink on pink paper. I think it might even be. Is that a real signature? I don't know, but so I don't have this version of it. But this is Rainbow 3.5, which is an amazing mini comic because not only is it by Jim Rugg, who's one of my favorite cartoonists, but it also is a story that makes sense to me because when I saw Rainbow for the first time, my dad bought the DVD box set when it first came out, and he's like, "You have to watch these movies." I must have been 11 or 12 at the time, and no, I can tell you how old I was actually. 14. Oh, I was 14. Okay, I was 14 at the time. And when we got to Rainbow 3, I was confused because make sure to send all your fan letters to Near My Condition. Fan letters to who? Josh or Omar or me? Box Office Poison is a fun slice of life, yes. But when we got to Rainbow 3, I was confused because it was like Rainbow helping the Afghanistan Al-Qaeda or not Al-Qaeda, sorry, Taliban. I was like, why is he helping them? Like, it was right after 9/11. And I was like, this is confusing. But this is Rainbow 3.5, where it takes place after Rainbow 3, and it's George Bush and Rainbow teaming up against the Taliban. So it's just like a fun, stupid action mini comic. But fun stuff. I recommend it anyways. You don't have a P.O. box that I know of. Also, I want to give Omar more work. Oh, so then you send it to him, and then he sends it to me. I need to get a P.O. box, I think. I don't know. Have I got to the point where I need a P.O. box? Here's my first. All the stuff, all the rest of the stuff from my haul is coming from Gary Busey doll. Facility Integrity by Nick Mandag, and I've never read anything by Nick Mandag. I've always wanted to, so this is going to be my first. He has a really fun cartooning style. And this is has a comic on the back. I don't know what it's about. I think that's the one downside to self-published stuff is whenever you do a comic on the back, you don't have a description of the book. But also, whenever you buy self-published stuff, typically you know what you're buying and who you're buying it from. So maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it only matters when you send it to some weirdo in the Midwest that does a YouTube channel. Oh, this was a controversial Free Comic Book Day issue that I didn't pick up this year, the year that this came out. But I remember this coming out because I think it showed up on TV in a few spots. Because it's Tales of a Grown-Up Nothing by Elizabeth Pick. It's a Silver Sprocket release. And it's controversial because it's not for kids, but people said it looks like it's for kids, and the Free Comic Book Day, they just assume everything's for kids. And I think this might have been the next year after they might have had the color-coded rating system that they have now for Free Comic Book Day. But it's not for kids at all. This book isn't. And I think it showed up on some news channels because parents are mad that how dare they make comics not for kids. I don't know. Oh, here's Cane Corps, a single issue of Cane Corps. I have the hardcover of this. So I don't know if all the material in this book is included in the hardcover, but this is by Matt Allison, and his artwork is insanely good. And Cane Corps, I need to do a video on Cane Corps. I feel like I need to do a video is like the thing I say the most. But I knew his art style was like badass, like bombastic art, like crazy, insane, just like amazing stuff. But I didn't realize what I was getting in for Cane Corps. I thought I was just getting into like this bombastic, like action-packed, crazy art comic, but it was so much more layers above that that I wasn't expecting, and I think I ended up loving it more for that reason. So it's cool to own a Cane Corps single issue. So thank you again, Gary Busey Stall. I got a number 8 preview of Death Power by Kurt Burdick. That's Kurt Burdick's book, right? I'm not wrong on that, anyway. There's no name on it. I think it's Kurt Burdick's book, but it's like this weird ash can where it's just like this 4-pager. But Death of Power, I need to pick these up. I'm terribly behind on the Death of Power series by Kurt Burdick. His artwork is amazing, and I need to pick it up. There's no excuse why I haven't already. It's kind of telling his story of I think it started off as like the Death of Superman book, but then it turned into like a full Justice League book, but it's like a bootleg version of him because obviously he doesn't own the rights to him. So here's the Kim Dietz stuff. I got issues 1 and 2 of Shadowland. He sent me. That's the one thing. Like I said, he sent me nothing I own, and the only thing he asked me in the email when he said, "Can I send you stuff?" was, "What do I own from Kim Dietz already?" And I told him I have like 1 book of his, and then I'm picking up the stuff that Fantagraphics is releasing this year. But other than that, I don't own anything. So he sent me a lot of Kim Dietz stuff, which is awesome because I love collecting all of one creator that I'm into, and then I could do a Kim Dietz video, perhaps. Here's the next stack of stuff that he sent me. Again, Gary Busey Stall is amazing. Thank you for joining me on this haul, by the way, everybody. But this is Mary Fleener. Hoodoo by Mary Fleener. Mary Fleener is an awesome cartoonist that has a very distinct style. Like, this is like what she's known for. It's kind of like this Pablo Picasso underground comics type feel of her art. And I know I've read some Mary Fleener comics before. I don't own this single issue. This is from 1988. But I don't know. I can't remember if I read it. I don't know. Was she in women's comics? I guess it says a little bio on the back here. No, it doesn't. That's Dora Neale Hurston. I'm trying to think what Mary Fleener comics I've read. She might have been in women's comics. I don't know if it. Yeah, I don't know. But regardless, Mary Fleener's awesome. Jesse Jacobs, who I am a fan of, but I don't own this one. This is By This All Shall You Know Him. And Jesse Jacobs has a really crazy, awesome art style as well that I really dig. Like, look at that insanity right there. Like, how long did that take him to draw? It would have taken me 100 years. And then look at this. Just like pure insanity. And that's what I know of Jesse Jacobs. Everything I own from him is like this manic, crazy style of his. So I'm stoked to read this. This is from Koyama Press, too. One of my favorite publishers of all time, by Annie Koyama, who is just an awesome Canadian publisher that published a lot of great stuff, especially from like Michael DeForge. That's where I know Koyama Press the most from. And then I got 2 books here by Peter and Maria Hoey. Here's Animal Stories, and I got Coin Op, the comics anthology. And these are comics that I've seen these comics before. I don't know where. I want to say I've maybe have seen these on For the Love of Comics channel, possibly, which I do love his YouTube channel. I don't know if he's shown these off before, but they look familiar to me, but I've never read them before. So I'm excited to dig into the style because you can see that it's like, I just love these cartoonists that like play around with the form and the medium and all these different art styles and panel layout styles. Like, it's really inspiring to see someone work like this. And then there's like this collage element. And this is Animal Stories. Noah's Mark. Look at that. Really cool lettering in here too, which I always dig good lettering. And those are both like landscape formats, so it's really cool. Here's another Kim Deitch book, Beyond the Pale. This is put out by Fantagraphics Books. Look at that old school Fantagraphics spine on there. When did this book come out? 90s or 80s? It doesn't have a printing date on here. All the materials from Kim Deitch years 1969 to 1989, though. But Kim Deitch, he has like a really cool underground comic style, which is like manic, like fill the entire page with crazy chicken fat artwork. And he has like kind of a cartoony element to his stuff that is reminiscent of like the classic cartoons like Steamboat Willie and such. So I'm really excited to kind of dive into my Kim Deitch era, as the kids would say. And then he sent me some stuff by Tim Hensley. And I have to say, some of this was like, are you reading my mind kind of stuff? Because these are 2 comics that were released by Fantagraphics in the last couple of years that I missed out on. And they're single issues. I didn't realize that they were so big. Like, look how massive these single issues are. I thought these were just regular single issues. But like, this is your standard size comic. When I saw these like solicited and released, I thought they were just like standard size single issue comic books, but they're huge. They're oversized. And Tim Hensley's a cartoonist that he hasn't done a lot of work in his career, but the work that he's done is like really like all inspiring. Like, I love this, like this classic comic style, like reminiscent of like, oh, here's like a whole spread. Reminiscent of like classic newspaper comics almost. So this is Sir Alfred issue number 3, but there is no issue number 1 and 2. It's kind of a joke. Same thing with this. This is Detention number 2, but there is no number 1. Maggie, Girl on the Streets. And I just love his art. So I'm excited to finally dive into these. Just from a pure cartooning standpoint, like this is like really magnificent stuff. And then like the back of the, that's why I just love any comics that use like the whole entire, every inch of the comic book, like the inside cover, the back cover, like no wasted space at all. You really get your bang for your buck, as the kids would say. And then this is a classic Tim Hensley. This is a old school Fantagraphics book with the fabric spine. They did on like the Charles Burns books as well. But here's some cool end papers. And this is Wally Gropius. And this is him doing like almost like an Archie's comics, or I don't know, like classic, like almost get some like European comics vibed from it too. Almost done, guys. Almost done. I think there's two more things to show off. This is Vision Quest. This is like a free newspaper comic, broadsheet newspaper comic that came out in California, I believe. And that art on the cover is crazy, though. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. And it's just like an anthology of like a really cool cartoonist in here. I do like these broadsheet kind of projects, especially on newspaper. Oh, is that Jim Mahfood? Oh, there's a Jim Mahfood joint in here. Look at that. I know my Mahfood when I see it. And the last thing, the bottom of the box had Alley Oop Volume 1 of the Complete Sundays. This massive book. This is the old Dark Horse release. And Alley Oop is a comic I've never read before. This is classic newspaper comics. I do know it's been like hugely influential to a lot of cartoonists and like historically important comic of the, I think, Platinum Age. When were these? Platinum, the end of the Platinum Age, Golden Age era, about these cave people. And the artwork's always looked really cool because it's got like a mix of really amazing looking dinosaurs mixed with like some really cartoony caveman characters. So I'm excited to dive into Alley Oop for the first time. And it's Complete Sundays Volume 1. So I'm sure what will happen as I start to look for all the other volumes. So that's it. That's all the box. That's all my haul. Thank you so much to Simon. Thank you so much to Gary Busey. You guys are amazing viewers. If anybody out there wants to send me some stuff, all my contact information is down in the description below. Always grateful, always thankful, always humbled by it. And I used to have that fun girl. It's such fun and ridiculous. So many boxes. Well, yeah, so many boxes. I've got another viewer that sent me some stuff that's coming, I think, next week or so. And I don't even know how. It seems like there's going to be a lot in it, just from judging from the conversations we had. And part of it is that he went and visited Fantagraphics store in Seattle. And one cool thing is that the people working at the shop knew me and were familiar with my channel. They said they show the channel. They watch the channel in the store sometimes. I was blown away and humbled by that. Obviously, Fantagraphics is my favorite publisher of all time. And I knew, like, the publishers. Like, I know Eric knows me, Eric Reynolds, and Tucker, the guy that I talked to, my contact there. But I didn't know the people at the shop knew or cared about me. And he got some stuff from there that they're sending just to me. They're like, I don't think they charge them for it. So they're sending. So I'm getting a lot of that, and then some other stuff that he's throwing in from his own pocket. That'll be coming next week, I think. I have no idea how big that box is going to be. That would be very hard Kubert level. We talk about I think that was about the Jesse Jacobs book. This was a haul. It was. I got the box and I was blown away by it. The box was big enough as it was, but then I was blown away by how much he packed in there. So much great stuff. If you weren't a troll, this could be you getting gifted hauls. Oh, that's a shot. Next time I go back home, I will send you some Indian comics to review. Little hit. That would be awesome. You've shown me some of the Indian comics you read as a kid, and we got superhero and historical and educational stuff. You show me some of the stuff that you've read when you were a kid, and I'm very much interested in that. I love comics from everywhere. This is not Indian, this is European, but I showed these off on my channel once, the Beano books. I never knew these existed. I never heard of these in my life until I found them in a Half Price Books, and I was looking through them. I'm like, how have I never heard of these comics? So I talked to some of my European friends, and they're like, oh yeah, we get those every year, like for Christmas. Like it's like it's like a tradition for us kids to get the Beano books for Christmas, the Beano annuals. So I'm always looking for more of these because I love these. But I just love all these comics that I have no idea about that come from other places. Preferably translated in English just so I can read them. But there's just so many great comics from everywhere around the world that I have not read or experienced. And I just, we need them all in our lives, right? But I think that's it. I'm going to go through my last minute plugs. If you have anything else to throw into the chat, throw it in the chat. And after my plugs, I will address those comments and then we'll get out of here. But first and foremost, if you are going to shop for comics, shop over at, no, is it the one going right now? panelboundcomics.com. And you can save $2 off of your order with my promo code Taylor Talks Comics. That's all one word, Taylor Talks Comics. If you want to put in a larger order order more books and get more savings, order 4 books or more over at panelboundcomics.com and you can use my promo code TTC, ship it together. It's all one word, TTC, ship it together. You can see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen there. And they'll save 5% off of your order of 4 books or more, 5% off additional savings to the already great deals they have at PBC. And then don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, comment below. Super chats are always welcome and super appreciated. Yes, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching this on replay, comment down below. I reply to all comments. And the chat, here's my Discord. And not worth it to not be a troll. Posting Cupcakes YouTube channel. Yes, everybody go subscribe to the Cupcakes Comics Reviews channel. Go subscribe to Picture Peepers YouTube channel. That was shared in the chat. And everybody go subscribe to Josh Greyhouse's channel, which was also shared in the chat. So next video in 5 weeks. No, I'm dropping a video tonight. It'll be the Wallace Wood Artist Edition. You'll see that later. And then tomorrow will be the Loca's Love and Rockets overview. Here's the Cupcake Comic Review YouTube channel and the Discord. Everybody go over, join our Discord. Talk to us, talk comics over there with us. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a great one. Keep talking comics.